Well, one thing I want to talk about is, we were talking about responsibilities and roles within the family, within the household. And I want to talk about a book that I'm currently writing. I finished half of it, and the rest is going to come out this year under D. Bonham Ministries.
Say that again, sir.
Yes, sir. Writing a book is going to be a journal. And
A
it's,
pastor and an author.
yes,
Okay.
putting the pen to the paper, well, computer basically. But what it's going to be, the title of the book is going to be 24, Forever Victorious. And the theme of the book is going to deal with really encouraging people that no matter what happens in life, God gives us another 24-hour period. In other words, another day where he gives us more grace, another opportunity that no matter what you've gone through, his grace gives us power to move on to that next day and to have another chance at life. And the inspiration for the book comes from when my wife passed. That was such a major traumatic experience for my family. And so it's really going to be done in her honor. And the way it's going to be formatted is to give people a scripture, also something inspirational that I learn and really derive from the relationship, and then a brief prayer at the end. But it's going to really inspire hope, and I'm pretty sure it will, because so many times we go through things, and they can be, sometimes come and make us feel overwhelmed and defeated. But with this book, I believe that it's going to inspire people, because it's going to show them that as long as the earth remains, there's going to be another day as long as we have life. And so as long as God has given us that, then we have hope because of him, that we can move from any situation because of him. And even if you have lost a loved one and lost a job, whatever it may be, we look forward to that next set of 24 hours that God is going to grace us with. And so I look forward to that. And as it is, when it finally comes out, I'm going to certainly share it here and encourage everyone to tap into it, because I believe that if you're going to become great, there's going to be a challenge in your life at some point that's going to be a defining moment to help you become the great person that God has already seen that we don't know about, except perhaps in vision format only. Because so many times in life, God will show us the vision, like where we're going, but he won't show you what's in between. And that's the difficult part, those valleys. He showed Joseph that his brothers would bow down to him, but he didn't show him that he would be thrown into a pit after a murder plot, sold into slavery, accused of rape, thrown in prison, forgotten about before his elevation ever came. And so that's why, another line or theme that will run through this, through the book. So looking forward to it, which is a perfect segue to what I like to talk about now is really fathers raising daughters and the challenges that come to single parents. And it's something that when my wife passed, I had I always have respect for single parents, of course, but I really found myself walking in that and also feeling at times, and I want to get ready to toss this out, at some points, to be quite honest with you, inadequate. Because, when you have somebody of value, walking with my wife there, when she left, it's like, my God, I can never feel what she used to do. Now it's just me. And I have to minister to my daughter's emotions. I have to, give leadership to the family, be a provider to the family. All those things, I've always been a provider, but just the emotional side of it, something that I necessarily didn't have. Some things I really didn't have to do, even though I did it in a manly way. Now I had a deeper sensitivity to have to say, okay, how do I tap into and raise these young ladies and still guide my family through this period and be everything, the point person, everything? Because if I'm not present, then their whole lives will be changed again. And so I just want to toss that out for those who've had that experience, and just really advice that you would give to those single parents and those people who are raising, I said daughters in my case, but sometimes it's a mother raising a son. But in my case, raising daughters is really special because, I'm a girl dad. I love my daughters, and even in my family, like the ladies, I cover them and protect them and love the ladies. And so it was a special challenge, but at the same time, it's something that God gave me the grace to do again. And so, and also the direction, to give them direction educationally and to set an example. So, Chloe, you hit it a few minutes ago, so that as they go out and date, they know what to look for. Because they've been taught right. They've seen the example. Yeah. And that's my thing to them, is that, you don't have to try to recreate the wheel. You already have a blueprint of what you should look for in a man. So, yeah. And so I'm going to come right to you, Chloe. Yeah.
So when I think about that, my boyfriend, he actually has a daughter, so she's 4. She's adorable. I love her. And so I think about him having to raise her by himself in a sense. And so I think that it's it can be hard sometimes, especially with schedule and everything, and trying to find time for her. But I've seen him find time for her, make sure he can FaceTime her and etc. But I know that can kind of be hard because he's not with her in the moment and present all the time. Kind of for me, my dad was always there. If I was crying about something, if I was upset about something, I could always just run to my father. He was already always there in the home, so it's kind of different to see that dynamic. But I love the fact that I'm able to step in and help with that and kind of be a stepmom to her as well. But I know that it is hard, and I'm for him. I know that sometimes it's hard too when because she's a girl.
Yeah.
Even though he is a girl dad. The other day he was playing Nerf guns with her, and she told him he wanted Barbies, or she told him she wanted Barbies, and he was like, Barbies? I want Nerf guns. So I know it's also hard to navigate as that girl dad, because wait, I like Nerf guns, what are Barbies, and not where do I get them, but how do I even play with them? So it can be hard, but I've seen him adapt to that and get her girl toys like Minnie Mouse and sit on the floor and play house with her. So I would just say keep doing it, keep learning, keep growing. And there's no such thing as a perfect parent. And so don't be
That's
too
good.
hard on yourself.
Yeah, that's good. And Natasha, I want to toss this to you for your insights and advice, that you would give to those single parents.
Well, I was a single parent for a long time, and
Okay.
even in the I think one thing that really weighs on you as a single parent is trying to fix that.
Mm,
So if I could
Yeah.
like reverse things in a way, I would have not so much tried to fix that at the expense of like entertaining certain relationships that I probably shouldn't have entertained, thinking that it would help to bring the family together.
Yeah.
Like Chloe, I grew up with my mom and my dad.
mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
having kids and being a single mom, I didn't really understand it. I tried to you know, compensate the best way that I could. And I honestly did the best that I could, but I also didn't understand the concept of just having someone there doesn't necessarily mean that that's making the family complete. Because if it's not good for the family, then it shouldn't be a part of the situation.
Yeah.
Also, understanding that making time, and my advice would be making time for yourself as the single parent is the most
Mm-hmm.
important thing, because and I say this to a lot of my friends that may be going through creating that or trying to figure it all out and being single parents, is you have to make that time for yourself, because what they're looking for, what your children are looking for, is for your happiness. So whether you're
Yes.
one
Yeah.
person or you have two people, it's better to be one happy person than to be two unhappy, or one happy and one unhappy person in the relationship, or to, and like people say, it's better to have come from dysfunction than to actually be in it. So
Yeah.
being in
Yeah.
dysfunction and understanding that this is not the best thing, as opposed to I'm just going to stay with this person because I want this person to be a part of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of women that struggle with that. I know women that wait until their kids graduate high school, no
Mm,
matter come hell to high water, and
Yeah.
then they leave. But that whole time, your kids have seen you be
mm,
very depressed and
mm,
argumentative, and
That's good,
just not
Natasha.
being who you really are, as opposed to saying from the jump. And I believe in marriage and the sanctity of marriage and the covenant with God, but sometimes things just don't work out. And that's
Yep.
been my experience along with other women. And it's okay. It doesn't make any
right.
person better than the other, whatever. It just doesn't work out. So understanding that early and taking that time for yourself, understanding that early, and then dealing with your life accordingly makes a better child.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's rich. Yeah. And Thomas, I'm coming to you. Yeah.
Um, I would say because I have spent a certain time period as a single dad, um, being that my first two children are 21 and 23 right now,
Okay.
and then my next set is 10 and 11. So got a large little gap there. So
Yeah.
for a long time I was a single dad, and so it was navigating and understanding that I can't be everything,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
understanding your limitations and working out your little village. Even if your little village is a friend that comes by and help out now and then, if it's a significant other, or if it's relatives, whatever, all you just getting yourself a unit together. I mean, I would always take my son and get him involved in whatever we could get involved in with Boy Scouts or anything like that. The same with my daughter, Girl Scouts, things of that nature, so that I could get some time for myself and try to create some balance. Because I think we always, like Natasha was saying, you get fixated on trying to fix the deficiency instead of using what you have to do what you can do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't be their mom when they were with me. I could just be their dad.
Yeah.
And I had to just focus on just being the best dad that I was when they were with me as best as possible. So that's what I did. And it ended up taking a lot of weight off my shoulders. And I wasn't so down on myself because I understood who I was as a person and my limitations.
Yeah. And yeah, those are some just rich comments. And I think just to sum it up, we said all that to say that really we have to make sure we take care of self-care.
Yes.
And Natasha, to your point, make sure we just don't try to fix it all, because some things we can't fix. We have limitations. And then to do our level best to make sure that we're creating healthy environments for our children, doing our best that we can certainly do. And then most importantly, understand that if God, and certainly he knew these situations were going to be in our lives, to trust him to help us navigate. And because we just don't have the capacity sometimes to figure it out, but to use our community, those people that are there to help stand in the gap with us, and we'll see this thing through, Yep. Absolutely. So, Thomas, I'm going to toss this to you, my brother.
All right. And right before we get into that segment, speaking of using our community, we want to hear from you guys. We want you guys to chime in. Please leave comments at the bottom of these videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. We, again, are coming to you from Elevation Global Media Group. We can be found on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment, because we do read our comments.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And speaking of community, my topic is a little heavy today, and talking about church hurt.
Yeah.
And how we navigate these things. And the more I was doing research on my topic, the more I found that a lot of people have gone through being hurt at their church, feeling ostracized, pushed away, feeling attacked. Some people have been shunned and or excommunicated from their church. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Elevation Global Media Group on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you for watching.